The South Carolina Department of Education, in partnership with ETV, presents the South Carolina African American History Calendar. For over 40 years, Ethel and Maxie Gordon championed equal rights and always strived for excellence. The Gordons were influential on a multitude of platforms, such as religion, education, public safety, and civil rights. Ethel and Maxie were high school sweethearts and were devoted to each other from the day they first met at Reed Street High School in Anderson, South Carolina. Upon graduating, they earned their bachelor's degrees at Benedict College and later pursued their master's degrees. Ethel and Maxie would reunite at Benedict, where they took up teaching posts.
He and his wife were inseparable. They started their relationship in high school or in grade school. And they were sweethearts all through their lives. I think only one time were they separated. She went away to get her master's degree and to come back and to further prove herself and her students as an English teacher and as an elementary school teacher. She was a strong supporter of her husband, and she was a strong supporter of their two sons. They believed in the pursuit of excellence, and the pursuit of excellence tempered with education.
Aunt Ethel taught methods in secondary education. Uncle Maxie taught in the religious school, but I'm not sure what those classes were other than Bible. I'm sure there were some other things, but he also taught French, and he also taught critical thinking. The two different teaching styles. Uncle Maxie was very, very serious to the point. Aunt Ethel was serious as well, but she had a humor side to her teaching that the students that she taught that I met years later never forgot. And that was the one thing that would come to mind whenever they thought about Aunt Ethel.
In 1945, Dr. Maxie Gordon would be called to serve as pastor of First Calvary Baptist Church in Columbia, South Carolina. The Gordons were members of First Calvary's congregation for over 40 years.
But he was always a scholarly preacher. He didn't always preach in the tradition of the Black Baptist preacher. He would teach, and he used his skills and his command of expressions to give you a sense of inspiration and celebration at the same time. He was a great, great scholar that made scholarship friendly to those who were yet to seek it.
Ethel and Maxie Gordon campaigned for civil rights. One of the ways they did this was by negotiating for Columbia's first black police officers and firefighters.
During this time, the early 50s, there was a lot of racial unrest all over the country. An effort to desegregate the Columbia Police Department, Richland County Sheriff Department. And rather than doing so in a way of doing a whole lot of protesting, they used the approach of meeting with other leaders in the community behind the scenes and strategizing plans that would help these situations, but without a lot of public unrest in doing so.
Ethel and Maxie Gordon will always be remembered for their tireless efforts in education, the church, and their service in local communities. Learn more about the South Carolina African American Calendar's current and past honorees at www.scafricanamerican.com.